Howdy, y'all. Welcome to another episode of Card Blitz. This is episode 34. I'm your host, Kelly Reed, joined by my good friend, my co-host, Patrick Marshall. Patrick, how's it going, man?
Morning, everybody. Good. Good day.
It is a morning, and it's Sunday morning, and it's football morning, right?
That's right. And it's kind of quiet around the Marshall household. So no kids running around. I'm like, it's unusual. So
Dude, well, I mean, you got college football going on. I'm not sure if you checked out some of the games yesterday, but it was a day for I guess those that are like into generational hate with the Longhorns losing, Crimson Tide losing, Clemson losing. I mean, it was some epic games, and big losses.
I'm not overly surprised of the Longhorns game. I mean, Ohio State's a good team and at home. I
Mhm.
mean, there was so much hype going into this, and I mean, they were just pumped up and ready to go. And that young quarterback for Ohio State, I think, made a name for himself yesterday.
Saying or I don't know how you pronounce it.
Yeah, Jabin or Javin or I mean, he's pretty legit. I mean, I think he only gets better. So, um, if that was the Buckeyes take away from it, yes, they beat the number one ranked team in the nation. But I think just seeing their quarterback develop and their defense played well,
Oh,
probably,
it's a defensive battle for both teams. And so,
yeah.
yeah, and 14-7, I mean, it's not like either team, not like the Longhorns got blown out by any stretch, but Alabama, on the other hand, 31-17, correct?
That was a surprise to me. I'll be honest. I mean, Florida State just, they took it at the beginning, and it looks like they never let off the accelerator. I mean, they just kept coming and coming. So I don't think Alabama was really in that game at all. So
No, but in the Clemson LSU game, I watched that one last night, and that was,
yeah,
it was a good game.
yeah, that was a good battle. I mean, I was impressed too. I mean, Clemson's a good team. So I
Yeah.
think that quarterback, that Kubnik, whatever his name,
Public out of Austin.
yeah, I mean, he
Yeah.
reminds me a lot of Arch Manning. I mean, they look, the guy can run, the guy can throw, he's tough, and I was like, wow. So that's gonna be a team to reckon with as well. So
Well, now it's the time for you to buy your Arch Manning cards. Apparently, the whole world is saying that he's horrible and he's having a meltdown and he's adopted by the Manning family. I'm seeing those memes and they're funny. I have a sense of humor, but he'll bounce back and he'll have a good season.
so his cards are a buy.
I feel like the pricing might drop a little over the next.
Correct.
All it takes is a couple of wins, and then hype train happens, and we'll get into that topic if time permits today. The on-field performance now that impacts cards.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's
I was gonna say, man, we got to get right into this birthday thing, don't we?
yes. So 42 years ago today was the birthday of no 42. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 42 years ago. Wow. Okay, time's going by. So one and only Larry Fitzgerald of your Arizona Cardinals. And this right here is actually his rookie card, and I didn't even realize it. I
How
was
about
pretty
that?
excited. Yeah. So Larry Fitzgerald's one of those players, generational talent, I think. I mean, he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer next year. I think that's when he's first able to go through. I thought he was already in the Hall of Fame, but because the NFL has a little bit different laws or different rules of time waiting for how long, but before you can be inducted. But he's second all time in receptions and receiving yards. I did not realize that. So
NFL or for the Cardinals organization?
in the NFL
Oh, wow.
overall for the NFL, I mean, he played all 17 seasons with the Cardinals, which is another thing that's kind of unheard of in today's
NFL.
contract,
Hmm.
contract decisions and ownership and of teams, and they usually just don't keep a guy that long. So I think that longevity proved to shows the kind of person he is and he was when he came out of University of Pittsburgh in 2003. I mean, he was the third overall pick by the Cardinals in 2004. So highly regarded out of college, and I think he did not disappoint. So he's something like a Pro Bowler 11 years, so which is and if you're a Pro Bowler over 10 years, I mean that's impressive. I mean, Hall of Fame written all over him.
Well, I remember in the Super Bowl when him and Kurt Warner were taking on the Steelers, and I think obviously Steeler fan base is going to want their team to win, but I think a lot of folks that were they have like a team in there, their own home team. They were going for the underdog Cardinals that season, and
Yeah,
they came so close yet just. Wasn't meant to be, man.
Yeah, I remember that. I was kind of like, I think everybody was kind of rooting for, they wanted the good guys, I guess, in their mind, but not to say the Steelers weren't the good guys, but I know I get exactly what you're saying.
You're gonna get some Steeler hate now, aren't you?
No, I'm not trying to do that, but I agree with you. It was a great Super Bowl too.
hmm
So
Well, hey, I've got a birthday boy to throw in the mix too, man, because I cannot go without celebrating the guy that IPC. One Hideo Nomo.
oh, nice.
Yeah, this is a score select mirror gold card of his from 1995, his rookie year. So that's a recent acquisition I got. But yeah, he turns 57 today. The pride of
Wow.
Osaka, Japan. I think you've been there once, right? This Osaka
I
place.
Yeah, I have been there before. So wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, man. Got to celebrate the tornado's birthday today, man. I
The
woke up, I showed
tornado.
up on my phone, and I was like, oh, hey, the tornado. So Hideo Nomo, if you're watching, Patrick Fitzgerald or Larry Fitzgerald, Larry,
Yeah,
you want to join us? Talk cards. Let's do this, man.
that's awesome. And I've got something to show. Football season's around the corner, and it just makes me get out like any collector. I get out my football cards. I start going through them, and I start looking at old sets and things that I have, and it's really neat just going back and looking at old cards. And I came across this guy, Mr. Walter Payton. Obviously, everyone knows
Sweetness there,
Sweetness,
huh?
but this is a cool card. I remember this '87 top set, and
hmm
I'd love to get into another. Going through some sets like we did with the '78 and go through some of the players because it was fun looking at this. I mean, the red back,
hmm
it's nice. So I thought it was pretty cool, and I just wanted to share that for my show and tell today. So that's pretty neat.
We'll have to deep
Okay.
dive into the 87 top set, man, and do some research.
Yeah,
Talk
yeah,
about, like I said, the star players and what made that set unique, man.
yeah. Because that was in my wheelhouse of collecting. So right when I started, everything was exciting, and not that it's not anymore, but we all have our PC that
You
we
hit your
like to
treasure
collect.
trove when you're going through there, and you're like,
But
hey.
in '87, it's like any player in any pack. Oh, look, I got him. Yes, great. And then you would trade with your buddies, and it was a lot of fun. So
Well, speaking of show and tell and football and the Crimson Tide, and
yeah.
we lost a Cowboy legend yesterday, Mr. Leroy Jordan himself. He
Oh,
passed yesterday.
and how old was Mr.
He was
Jordan?
84.
Yeah,
Leroy was
that's
84, man.
solid life. Very.
Yeah,
That's
this
great.
1970 Topps card of his is part of that set that I built earlier this year. But yeah, man, he's the first Cowboy to be under Jerry Jones' regime to be inducted into the Cowboys Ring of Honor, and he won a national title with Alabama, won a Super Bowl title with the Cowboys, Super Bowl six. He played for about I think 13 or 14 seasons.
Yeah,
13 seasons, I believe. I mean, the dude was like a beast. And so I don't know if you know this, but in 1971, he had against the Eagles, he had 21 tackles in a game.
that's nice.
21.
Yeah,
And that's like
impressive.
huge fantasy numbers if you're a fantasy football player back then. In the
Yeah,
70s. 73, he had three interceptions off of one Ken Anderson and the Bengals, all in the first quarter. And
that's
those three, he took one back to the house, man. Like, hey, Leroy Jordan, certainly condolences to family and rest in peace, man. You're one of the great ones.
yeah. And Kenny Anderson was no slouch back then. I mean, he was
He was
he
up
was a
and
great
coming
quarterback.
quarterback, yeah. But the
Yeah,
Bengals were doing bingle things, I guess, that year.
that's right. Correct.
Well, man, yeah. So, what else you want to get into, man? You want to talk about this big expensive card that Mr. Kevin O'Leary purchased with his group?
Yeah, go for it. I mean, let's start us off, Kelly.
The 2007 Upper Deck Exquisite dual logo man auto of one Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan, the one of one card.
Yeah, would you say? Would it go for like 13 million or something like that?
Yeah, it went for like 12.9 and
Wow.
highest sell ever for in the card industry. And have you like done any like have you seen any of these interviews with O'Leary?
I have not. I mean, this is the Shark Tank O'Leary, correct?
Yes,
Yeah,
Mr. Wonderful himself, man. And
yeah.
like,
And is he doing this? Does he have an investment fund of trading cards? Was that what
yes,
he's expecting?
that's what I'm saying, man. If you get into his background story, dude, like he in 2022 he met one Michael Rubin from Fanatics.
Yeah, okay.
Got him kind of interested in this card scene, and apparently, he looks at it as like modern art. And so he's like, look, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to go in big and get the best of the best. And, you know, basically $13 million later, how many eyes are going to be drawn on this hobby because of that purchase and the amount of money? And, he's on he's on Fox News and MSNBC talking
Yeah,
about it and Sports Illustrated and ESPN. I just wonder, like the Fanatics, Ruben O'Leary, like that introduction and then the growth of this hobby. Did Ruben have like a bigger picture in mind, or was this just coincidence? But
right. Yeah, it's interesting because I read also that that 2003, I think Steph Curry rookie autograph 101 that sold for like 5.9 million a couple of years ago, that was purchased by an investment fund of trading cards.
yeah,
So, I mean,
alternative
we're
assets, right?
yeah, I mean it's pretty impressive. Those are the cards that are backing a fund, and you're a sports fan, and you still collect. I mean, it's pretty neat. I mean, I don't think it's bad. So
Well, being like the hobby diehards will say like, hey, SGC was at 9.5 Mickey Mantle that sold for like 12.6 million. Like, will they look at this and say, we're no longer going against like even individual like millionaires or billionaires. You're going against like equity firms now and private companies like, with the Paul Skeens purchase, by Dick's Sporting Goods. Like you and I,
yeah,
man, we're like little fish in this big, big ocean of cards and hobby. And it's like, I wonder how the average collector feels. Like, do they feel
what
like this is going to
yeah.
impact them positively or negatively with more eyes and more dollars competing for the cards you want?
I'd like to hear about that too. I mean, I think people should, obviously comment and let us know what they think about that because, I mean, are those cards ever going to make it out to? Are they going to be like exhibited somewhere? Sometimes, I mean, is Fanatics going to say, "Hey, Illyria, let's do it at Fanatics Fest next year. I want to show that card off and show some different things like they did this year on that millions of cards that were represented and displayed at their show. I mean, how do these
Yeah, you
cards?
get me to thinking though, man, because like remember that Shohei Ohtani 50/50 ball that was purchased by was it like the Taiwanese guy from Nvidia? Like he had
Yeah,
that in Taiwan at like their 101 building in Taipei on display until this past March.
okay.
And so I wonder, yeah, other than
Do,
the internet, can you see these cards in person one day?
do these cards get vaulted, and will they ever be for sale again? Are they? How's that going to work? I mean, is it going to be part of a more of a
Asset
corporate?
though. Think about it. I mean, it's an asset. So unless you acquire more cards to build up your index, why would why would that group sell their one card? And I
So
heard
it's almost
that
yeah,
O'Leary and them had purchased some smaller cards also to build up their index.
yeah. So it's almost like once that Mickey Mantle SGC 9.5 is seen, no one will ever know about it again. I mean, it's almost. I don't know how I feel about that, but I understand the concept behind it. So, but wow, that's mad money. So
Definitely Mad Money. Last question for you regarding that, and for viewers of this show, like whenever you think of those kind of cards and those kind of purchases, do you want to put your money, like part of your retirement fund, into a baseball card, basketball card, football card? Would you do something like that? Put, X amount of dollars and say, you know what? It's just retirement money. So I'm going to invest and see how the market goes.
well, let me ask you this: so if somebody um, invest in that fund, say it becomes an ETF of something on Wall Street, are you actually going to own a piece of those cards? I mean, that's kind of fun if you think
Yeah,
of it
more
that way.
percentages and
Yeah,
yeah, do you go with a specific card or is it just the index and it's like, hey, we sold X amount of cards, here's our, our revenue and we're going to distribute the profits to our shareholders? Deep
yeah.
talk. I know, I know. CardBlitz fans are like, wait, y'all are talking about cards or are you talking about investment? But,
Well, yeah, that's
you
yeah.
know,
What are we talking about
a
here?
rare time that the two kind of intermingle there. But
Yeah.
let's keep rocking, man. One last show and tell. I acquired another Captain America card, another Roger Staubach for my
Ooh, nice,
run. Got a little SGC 8 here.
nice. Well, what year is that one, Kelly?
I believe this is going to be the 75 tops.
75. Nice.
Yeah, with the classic green and black
Oh yeah.
back to the card. But again, now I'm working on this all sevens and higher of Mr. Roger Staubach, and I got two left. Got to get the 73 and 72. Then that run will be done, man.
Nice. That's fun. That's good. You
Yep,
gotta like
little,
that.
just chip it away here and there, man, just little by little, man. But hey, let's talk about the it's football season. NFL starts this Thursday. Last ride for Panini and
Yeah.
their run at NFL licensed product. Um, from my research and understanding, they started like 2012 with licensed product, but they had some unlicensed product before that. So,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on this last ride?
Yeah, I think it's unique because they're still, from what my research, for what I've read, is they're still going to release unlicensed NFL product. I mean, so they still have exclusive autograph deals. Like they have an autograph deal with Travis Hunter of the
Yeah.
Jags and Shedeur Sanders.
Mhm.
I'm sure there's quite a few others as well. So it's very interesting. Like, so even though Fanatics will take over, I believe the NFL in 2026. Is that
Or 27, I think.
27? Okay.
Official 27. So they're that 2026 season next year, that one's going to be yeah, in flux for sure. I have no idea what to expect.
Yeah, I mean, so does a one of one of an unlicensed brand Panini of say a Travis Hunter autograph, does the average collector even know that it's unlicensed product? So I'm not sure how it's
But
going to
when they're
really.
missing the logo, they're
Yeah.
going to go real quick like, that's odd. There's no team logo on this helmet.
So that's what I'm getting at. So what's going to be the design of the card? And what's the card going to look like? It's going to be interesting
You
if
look
there's
at
no.
like the Chrome product from Topps 2024 NFL Chrome. I showed some of those cards that were given to me. They were just giveaway base. Yeah, no logos. Kind of takes us back to the 70s with NFL football cards, with no logos. And would it's a question of want and value, I guess. Like, do you desire to purchase a card that doesn't have a logo on it? Does that impact
Yeah.
your
Or,
decision?
or is it the player? Are you just after the player and you don't really look at that? I don't know. It's very interesting. It's gonna, collectors will make the decisions obviously and decide, but I can't see a substantial drop in value. I mean, I think Panini's, has made a name, and some of their products are, like their national treasures and Prism. I mean, people still probably go out and buy that. I mean, I'm sure they will.
Hmm. Interesting. You mentioned the whole like value aspect and desire to purchase.
Yeah,
I have two autograph cards that are that are unlicensed by Panini or Leaf by Leaf.
by
Uh,
Leaf. Okay.
yeah, I have a Leaf Pete Rose card with a sticker autograph on it, no logo. It says Charlie Hustle on it. It came out a few years ago, but the price was too good for me to pass. It's like, hey, I always wanted a Pete Rose autograph on a card, and
Yeah.
so I purchased it. And so I saw the value in it. Now, it's not to resell it. I'm not looking to make money on it, but I wanted one for my own collection. Before he passed, I purchased it like a year ago. And then I have a Pele card that's autographed, sticker autograph. And, obviously he's passed years ago. And so I see the value in having a Pele autograph.
What,
Um,
what what's really unique is if you were to get those graded, Kelly, do would PSA take any less of a or a harder stance on it since it's unlicensed product, or are they just strictly they're
no, I
just
think they're unbiased. I think they look at the card's condition.
yeah, they still have to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they still have
It,
to
it's an approved manufacturer.
right.
So they're not going to say, "Hey, this is unlicensed product," or not even approved by any organization. It's like custom cards. No, they're just saying, "Hey, this is an unlicensed product," but they'll still grade it. Edges and corners and centering and surface, front and back. I think that remains the same. It's just, some folks are logo snobs, and they're like, "Hey, if it doesn't have the logo, I don't want it. It's not official. I don't want it."
I can't ever say that I've actually cared that much about it. To be honest, it's more. I'm like you. It's the player. I mean, it means something to collect that particular person. If there's an autograph, like a Pele card, would be great. I mean, I'd love that.
Yeah, to me, he is the soccer star of our generation.
Yeah, and
And yeah, I'm like, hey, this is when I got back in the hobby, I was like, that's a card I want to get. And so I'll see if I can dig it out and show you.
yeah,
Maybe
that'd be
a
interesting.
card or two, man. Be like, hey, this is that Pele autograph, and hey, here's the Charlie Hustle, Pete Rose.
here's an interesting discussion. So Arch Manning,
Hmm.
you say he's off to the NFL. Panini makes an unlicensed product of him versus a Fanatics um, licensed set. What's the value of both? How would they compare? Say they're both, a 5 out of 5, and you can get in a hobby box or something like that.
Autograph,
There's
or are you talking like base card or
autograph, yeah,
insert?
just autograph, maybe a thread, something like that. It's the card to get. Do they both hold
Well,
the
I mean,
same?
Panini's already released Arch Manning autographed cards. I think it was last year, unlicensed. It's just Texas Longhorn college
Yeah.
stuff. And
So
those
so
are those are high dollar cards right now. That's why I was making the comment. Now might be the time to make your purchase if you're, if you're an Arch Manning fan, if you're a Longhorn fan, you're like, I've got to get this card or this player. Um, but yeah, going back to what you're saying though, like, does that hold any less value? No, I think the market forces determine that,
yeah.
demand and supply. And so if it's out there and you agree to purchase it at said price and the seller agrees to sell it at said price, a deal happens.
Yeah, and I think that's true. I think the market will dictate how much the boxes are available for retail. I mean, I don't think one can undercut the other just because I mean, and obviously as a collector, you're like, oh, that'd be great. So you get to a price war and you're like, sweet, I'll pay $80 for that.
A
And the
race
other
to the
one,
bottom and only the collectors win. I
yeah,
mean, the manufacturers, your Fanatics, Tops, Panini, their products like Prism, they got to pay big dollars for these autographs. And
yeah.
so that's what makes the box prices so high in the chase.
Yeah, and I don't want them to. We don't want to go back to flooding the market like the '87 tops or something like that, where you can buy boxes for
Nine Tops baseball,
yeah, $12. At any
whole box.
store on the planet, get a loaf of bread and come home with a retail box of like '87 tops wax.
Do you think, as Panini's like on their swan song in the NFL this year, do you think that they just hit the presses just in overdrive and just crank out as much product as they can?
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of getting at. I hope they don't, but I hope they just maintain their name, and keep and don't just flood everything and have so many different variations where your head spins. So
You want to talk variations, man. Like I was looking at the 2025 Luminance, and I got some notes here, man. Like 2025 Panini Luminance that
yeah,
are out.
tell
Uh,
us.
they got here's their parallels. Not talking base set, which apparently no one wants anymore. Period.
Right.
Parallels. They got a gold out of 250. They got a blue out of 150. They've got a green out of 100. They got an orange out of 50. They got a teal out of 35. They have a red out of 25, a pink out of 10, a platinum one of one, and then a new insert called Vivid, which is out of 10 and has like a prismatic rainbow effect.
That's weird. I mean, that's
That's more
intense.
colors than I have fingers and opposable digits, thumbs.
Yeah.
Like, dude, this is a different hobby than when I grew up, Patrick.
Yeah. Is that a
That's
teal or a blue? I don't know. Wait. Okay, it's at a 50, at a 30. Okay, I'm confused.
Yeah, fortunately, they probably have the number stamp, so
Yeah,
that helps you.
that's
But
good.
what was it? There was one collector. She has her own. She was on a podcast. She was one of the card ladder teams, and she said she collected. Was it Maxi Kleba from the Mavericks back in the?
Yeah,
And she was going for his rookie card, like full like rainbow run. And it's like 48 different variations.
that's
48.
that's
Feel
insane.
like too short. She's last I heard. I'm like 48.
That's dedication too.
Yeah, that's also, flooding the market with inserts and parallels. And, you and I, we just grew up in a different era, man. But, interesting. I wonder if, like, hobbyists today, if they go, hey, I need the whole rainbow or I only collect, the reds or the blues or, over the years. I mean, everyone hobbies their own way. I'm curious, for Panini and for Fanatics, when they're cranking out these cards with their tops products, like, what are they, number of inserts, does that matter?
Well, there's got to be some fact and there's got to be some good revenue being made if they continue to do it over and over each year at each set that they come out with. And I mean, because otherwise, I mean, I could see a focus group sitting down and going, okay, have they taken the time to say, do we need 12 colors and all numbered? And it'd be interesting to see different generational opinions on that. And they're like, oh, you know what? We're going to do it anyways because it makes us money. That's probably the bottom line. So,
Yeah, I mean, instead of coming out with different insert sets, we just keep adding different variations of that parallel with colors.
yeah, yeah. Like the
Well,
holiday, like, yeah, holiday, Halloween.
Halloween, Christmas, Easter eggs.
Yo, those things get out of control.
See,
Yeah.
you've seen it, man. Well, 2025 rookies to watch for. Are there any that are on your radar?
And that,
Said Panini licensed products.
I mean, you kind of threw me there because I totally forgot that Arch Manning had some cards already out. So,
But I'm saying for like right now this year, knowing that it's Panini's last run, like does getting a like a Travis Hunter or a Shedeur Sanders or a like an Ashton Genty,
yeah,
like what other hot rookies do you think people are going for that they say, hey man, it doesn't matter. I want this rookie card of this NFL player.
yeah, I think Ashton Genty's he's got some potential. I mean, I think he's one of those players that he's going to hit the ground running. Not to make a pun of it, but he's going to, he's going to produce numbers right away. I think so
Well,
for Las Vegas. So
how
I'd
about
be
Cam
interested in
Ward?
him.
Do you have any thoughts on Cam Ward?
I think he's one of those guys. He's going to have a lot of hype. Obviously, he does have a lot of hype, and I think his cards will be in high demand because of that.
Hmm.
Um, does it translate over to his on-field performances? I mean, is it worth the hype? I mean, I don't know yet at the beginning. We'll have to see, but
Well, that's the life cycle of the card, though, right? It's like, hey,
correct.
drafted, hype goes up. How do you produce on the field? That impacts the card's value.
That's right. And it's not, and you see this with basketball a lot. You see a lot of the basketball players come out and their cards are hyped and they have limited runs, and then they just kind of you don't really know. I don't know who some of these players are after a couple of years. So it's like, are we gonna? We'll have the same. That's going to happen in any sport, I believe. But
Well, I
if
mean,
I
like
had to
in
choose,
NFL, though, you're looking at an average of what, like 3 years in the NFL pro career
yeah,
on average.
correct.
So they have a very short shelf life. NBA is a bit longer. MLB is the longest, like those guys, they can go up and down from the minors and big leagues and their cups of coffee several years.
Yeah, yeah. It's. I mean, there's that the wide receiver for the Carolina Panthers, Tet. I mean, he's going to be sought after just because he's got Bryce Young passing the ball to him, and I think he's got a bright future.
Hmm.
How does that translate over to the value of his cards? I don't know. I mean, we're maybe Carolina Panthers are kind of a smaller market team still, even though it's Charlotte and it's a growing city. I just don't think people think of the Panthers as kind of like the one of the big five of the teams to go to, like the Cowboys or the Raiders or something like that, where there's more hype.
Steelers, 49ers.
Yeah. So that's gonna be interesting to see how that does. Even if he plays well, will people, you know, not say jump on the bandwagon, but will people be interested in his cards? So
Well, you mentioned the Panthers, and it got me to thinking when you said that. Did y'all draft a running back this year in the draft?
it,
'Cause I got to thinking about like Travis Etienne. You remember him?
yep,
I
yeah,
mean, he came up with the QB in Jacksonville, right?
yeah, with the Jags, yep.
Yeah, and so I wonder like that guy's on his I think it's his third season now, third or
Yeah,
fourth.
Travis, because he's supposed to be losing some carries this year for the Jags. I mean, I think he's not a sure thing to be the starter. So, like Tank Bigsby, I think was like one of the young players last year
Mm-hmm.
for the Jags. So the Panthers, I can't remember who it is, but it was like a fourth or fifth round draft pick for running
Flyer,
back.
mid round player.
Yeah.
All right.
It
Well,
wasn't anybody that's gonna, they're not gonna make a 10 out of 10 or they're not gonna do a teal card on him. So
my Dallas Cowboys, we took Jaden Blue, so out of Texas, and I mean he's decent, but man, our O line's horrible, man.
well, Jaden Blue's already showed some. He's a little fragile. I mean, he's hurt his ankle a couple times. I think both of them. So I watched the last preseason game, and he went out, and it looked like it was pretty bad. But he got up and walked it off, and I go, God, I mean, that's gonna be the running back by committee approach again in
Yeah,
Dallas.
yeah, it's ugly, man. This next season for Cowboy fans, it's scary, ugly, and I do not have my hopes up.
Do you even want to scratch the Micah Parsons discussion? I mean, wow. I mean,
Jerry
but
Jones and his whole, hey, I think I'm going to get what we got for Herschel Walker 1989 concept. And I'm just like, oh boy.
two first round draft picks. I mean, that's impressive. So I mean, I was pleased that they could get that.
But what if if Jerry makes that trade in March, heading into the draft, is he able to get more from the market, versus heading into the season a week away? Like,
Yeah.
I just don't think it was well played.
Yeah, and what I think happens is like you make a good point. The longer you wait, the more of like it's becomes probably in the mind of the owner. It's like, God, can we get anything for him? You know what? Forget it. Just get that guy out of here. He's bad news. This is bad publicity. We're going into the season. We got to get set because they got to start thinking of victories, in week one. And you don't need a distraction like that. So I thought for them to get what they did was not bad. But yes, it could have been much better
The
at a
defense
different
could be
time.
not so good either for the Cowboys. Man, it's like I said, I think it's gonna be a tough season for us
Well,
Cowboys.
yeah, the season kicks off, on Thursday against, at Philadelphia. Yikes! I mean, dude, I don't know what the line is. I think it's 7.5. It probably should be 13 and a half.
Uh, Probably
um,
put money on the Eagles if you're a betting man. Not that we're like giving advice or anything, but I'm just saying, yeah, it's going to be ugly for the Cowboys.
I would take a prop bet of Saquon Barkley over 100 yards. I mean, I don't know who's going to stop him. I mean, it's going to be tough. So,
Well, man, hey, let me stump you, man, as we're starting to get to wind down here on this episode. And this goes back to an actor that you and I grew up watching. He was in Smokey the Bandit and Cannonball Run. He drove like this black Trans Am and Smokey and the Bandit. You know what I'm talking about, right?
yep,
Burt Reynolds.
yep.
All right. Burt Reynolds in college football because it's college football weekend. Let's tie it in. All right. So Burt Reynolds, he was on a college football team and he played sparingly. Okay. So which team did he play for? You ready for
Ooh,
your option?
yeah, this is going to be a tricky one, but let's see if something clicks when you mention some team names.
Okay. They're all from the same state. So here we go. The great state of Florida. So did he play for A, the Florida State Seminoles? Did he play for B, the Florida Gators? Did he play for C, the Miami Hurricanes? Or did he play for D, the Central Florida Knights?
Ooh, throwing D out there is is one of those where
They're
you like,
all four schools are from the same state. There's a
yeah,
theme, Florida, right?
but that's just kind of out there compared to the other three. So I'm going to go with B. I'm going to go with University of Florida Gators.
University of Florida Gators. Let me check my stats here. You and 17.5% of America agree on the Florida Gators. And that is wrong.
Probably not right.
He was a
Probably Florida
Seminole.
State.
Florida
probably
State Seminole.
probably because they just played. I should have caught onto that, but
Who beat Alabama yesterday. And
yeah.
a buddy over at Stream of Card Consciousness, one Greg Smith, that's his university. So, Greg, if you're watching, man, congrats on your victory over the Alabama Crimson Tide in your school.
Do we know what position Burt Reynolds played? Was he?
That's an
Uh,
even better question.
I mean, was he I mean, I could see he's probably pretty stout, so maybe like linebacker or something like that back in the day. I mean, wouldn't surprise me.
Yes, that I do not know. That eludes me. I have to use the internet and look that up, Patrick.
Yeah, pretty
Or
cool.
our viewers will put it in comments. Hey, we looked it up for you two. This
Yeah.
is for Burt Reynolds. This is his position. He played at Florida State.
Well, I really thought you were going down the longest yard route, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be. Let me rack my mind
Like,
around
how
this.
do I tie this in? Hey, but by eliminating Central Florida Knights, that was a good one. Then you were
Yeah,
down to, like, it was almost like one of three.
I
So
like your trickiness. I mean, this is I like it. It's
you
like
like
the
thumping
LSAT.
Patrick and the rest of America.
Nice.
Well, man, hey, I want to wish you a happy Labor Day weekend. Enjoy some
Yep,
time
you too,
off,
Kelly.
and for the viewers of CardBlitz, Patrick and I, we've got some busy schedules coming up throughout like the next 6 months, but we're going to still try to crank these out once a week. But yeah, it'll be it'll just happen as it happens.
Yeah, fair. That's fair. We're not gonna disappear. So we'll see you guys still.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, again, if you guys enjoyed this episode, please thank you for watching it. Give us that thumbs up, put in some comments, share the love, tell your friends, your card collecting buddies about us. We're trying to grow this thing. So, again, thank you for your time.
Yep. You guys have a great Labor Day, and everyone grab a hot dog,
Watch some football.
float in a pool, and watch some football. That's my recommendations.
On
Do it at
that
least
note,
once.
I was going to say, man, on that note, we are out of here. Have a good
See
one.
ya.